Oops. So yeah, well, back again for some more GBC 3. I forgot that OBS was muted. And yeah, this was playing for a while and muted and was getting ready and sat down and it was all muted and I was talking for nothing. But yeah, let's get started. At least this time I noticed that the sub was muted. One time I didn't notice for a bit. I think it was when I started Legend of Zelda. I think it was Phantom Hourglass or something, where I think I started the game and it was muted. So yeah, let's go back to the farm. I don't... Okay, I don't know if that was a truck or a thunder. But I don't know if I can get those, so I might have to restart this day. Because I don't know if those down there are big to pick or not. So yeah. And since this playthrough is mostly yapping, not about just the game, but about whatever, honestly. It's streaming, right? I can yap. So yesterday I was testing Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga. And... oh, they weren't big, okay. I keep forgetting that I should come to the field first. So I was testing that game to see if I could stream it. And I think I could, except... well, the game it's... I think it's a good game. It has tons and tons of things to do, which is good. The thing is that I'm using the wrong tool. The thing is, I noticed that when you use turrets, like weapons that you build in that game, the game lags so much and I don't see anywhere anything about it. If I could like... if I could like patch it with a patch, right, to fix that, I would. Like, I'm used to mods and stuff to fix stuff. Like, I've played a game before where the game would crash, and the way to get past the crash was to use a cheat engine, which sucks because some games nowadays have anti-cheat. And they scan your... the anti-cheat is like the game scans your computer, and if it finds anything it thinks can cheat, they ban you. Warframe does that, and it sucks. Sometimes I plug my old external hard drive to like get files out or in there to keep. And I'm always... and I forget about it, and I connect and I start Warframe and I rush to close it because I don't want to Warframe to scan my external drive and find files from cheat engine and ban me. But yeah, I couldn't find anything to fix that lag, so I'm not going to play that on stream. I'm going to play it off stream because I have the game, so I want to play it. But it sucks that I can't stream it because I was planning to. But it's also a huge game, so... and I usually prefer short ones, so... but I got it for free on Epic last year. But the game is so poorly optimized, which is a shame. Like, it's so poorly optimized. It's not even funny. So yeah, I'm going to play that on my own time, except I have a bunch of other games I want to play on my own time, and I'm stuck with Story of Seasons because I can't play more than like 2 days every day. Like, I've been playing and I'm still on like day 7 of summer. of year 2, and I want to do the 3 years at least. I want to play that game until I can get married. The issue is I want to marry Elise, and she can only be married like by year 3. I'm on year 2 and I still lack one or two of her rival events, and I can't get rival points anymore. Like, the game is very poorly balanced, and that's the biggest issue. But let's leave that for that. So yeah. And for example, I've been playing the Mario games, and I might, after New Super Mario Bros. Wii, I might take a break from that on stream, because I only have like 2 more left, which is the Galaxy games, and I could either do those 2 and get Mario done and forget about Mario for a while, or I could take a break, because the thing is, I don't want people to come to my YouTube channel and think like, oh, he's playing Harvest Moon, he's a farming game player. Or Stardew. I really want to bring back Stardew, but I'm playing this right now, so I can't. And like, I don't want to play only those games, or only Mario games, because I don't want people to get the impression that I'm a farming game player, which, honestly, I do play a lot. I always play a farming game in one way or another, for the last, I don't know how many years. But I don't want to give the impression I'm a cozy gamer or I'm a farming gamer. Okay, so you got the wood from someone else. Okay, so he skips that event if you don't do it. Okay. It doesn't do anything because it looks the same to me. But yeah, and I don't want people to think I'm that, or I'm a Mario player, or I'm a Dragon Ball player. No, I'm playing those games because they are fun, and that's about it. Actually, let's check the storage room, because I forget how many days has it been since I sold. 5. Maybe I should sell. So that's why I never play all in a row. That's why I'm doing like Mario game, something else, Mario game, something else. But at the same time, I don't want to lose practice. That's why I keep them often, or I want the series to come to an end early. Like for example, the Dragon Ball games, I don't want them to be too spread apart, so we don't miss the story, even though it's not easy to follow the story through the games, because they skip a lot. But yeah. I don't want to do a lot of specific games because of that, but at the same time, it's nice to end it at some point. And Mario, there's only 3 games left I can play, and I want to play the games I can't stream. I still want to play them off stream, of course, and then just talk about it on whatever stream. So the entire thing lately has been a Mario retrospective. I don't do reviews, I don't like it. I have trouble communicating my thoughts on games, and I can't into flowery language. If you watch reviews, most of the reviews is just a bunch of yapping. Let's be honest. Reviews are just people pointing out 1 or 2 things and yapping a lot in between. And that's fine if they can make it entertaining. I can't, so why bother? Right? I don't like editing videos or such, so I'm not going to do it. And honestly, I like to criticize games, but at the same time, some people go very technical. And sometimes it's like, oh, this game, I don't know. Like, everyone nowadays takes Digital Foundry, I think that's the name, as gospel. Like, oh, but then they ignore other games. Like, there's been games that were very successful, but they were poorly optimized, and people give them a pass. But then the moment Nintendo drops one frame, everyone is like, oh, it's dropping frames! Yeah, it's a hybrid console, like they call it, which means it's a portable console that you insert on a dock and it jacks up the wattage and it runs faster. That's it. So Nintendo just makes portable consoles now. And of course it doesn't match what people want in the graphical sense. In a way you could say they are stuck in the past, but at least they are not just selling you a glorified computer. So, I mean, what's a PlayStation nowadays? It's mostly just a computer with locks in place. It's a weak computer with locks in place. And yeah, consoles will usually run games better because the operating system is so light that it barely uses any resources, so everything goes to the game. And if you go on Windows, Windows is like wasting resources on your second monitor or your browser in the background and on whatever is on the background. It's a whole deal. So I don't, it's, and then you look at their reviews and it's just, yeah, it's good that they point out the technical part. But at the same point, at the same time, you need to like balance it out. Do you want a technical game? Do you want to play a game? And reviews, I don't like the scores because sometimes I play a 10 out of 10 game. And they're like, oh, great story. And I play and it's like, oh, this is the most lame story ever. And this year, for example, there's been games I'm like, I don't like the story. I don't like this, like, oh, poor me story. Oh, this poor, an entire game about this poor guy. I don't care. That's like a side quest in older games. In older games, you write a sad story about the characters, but the character itself isn't the game. And I don't like how stories nowadays are just one character and everyone else is just there to either coddle them or attack them in some way. Like, I really like Final Fantasy IX, and every character has a bit of a sad story, really. But they are not the only one, right? There's an entire world. And I feel like games forgot that the world itself exists and has value. The reason I like Final Fantasy IX so much is because the world is very good. And the game doesn't forget that the world itself has value. Not just the characters, not just their sad story. That's just pieces in a puzzle. But because they are made that way, it feels like every interaction is valuable. Like Final Fantasy IX is a game where every interaction feels good, because every interaction says something. But when you play modern games, it's like, oh, there's a 10-minute cutscene, and it's all there just to say that the character likes apples. And it's like, I don't care. What's the point? Is this going to be relevant to the plot of the game? That the character likes apples? No. Meanwhile, Final Fantasy IX has like I think it's an optional cutscene with Dagger in Dali right at the beginning of the game, where she's only talking to a woman working in the farm. And that interaction takes like 1-2 minutes. It's just Dagger in the farm talking to a woman, and a woman thinking Dagger is very weird. because Dagger isn't afraid of the Oglops, which are like a frog insect hybrid. And it's very weird because she's a girl and she's not afraid of them. And it's even weirder for the player because Dagger is a princess, right? She lived in a castle with all the luxury, but she is very interested in the world around her. So you learn a lot from that interaction, that Dagger isn't a traditional princess. She's not afraid of Oglops, which are basically frogs, because she's curious about the world, and she's not held back by her position. She doesn't elevate herself by her position. No, she's just a person in that world, and she's on a journey and learning. And it shows a lot about her character, and it's such a simple cutscene, and I think you can miss it. And nowadays games are like, oh, yap. Oh, it's character development. What did you develop? Nothing. What's the point? I do think game writing is in the worst state it has ever been. Like it's sad. And everyone is like, oh, Baldur's Gate 3, Baldur's Gate 3. I don't think anyone really points out why that game felt so good. Perhaps it's because every interaction feels impactful. Even though they are a bit too long sometimes, they have something to say with every interaction. And even though the game is long, oh, that's not good. Still need to plant one more. Really? But yeah, the writing is good, and it's because it doesn't have too much useless yapping. But nowadays, people think good writing is making long strings of text. And no, good writing in games is like making a very long text into a smaller text. That's how you do good writing. Yeah. Harvest Moon GBC 2 lets you walk to places. This one doesn't. Yeah, well, I agree actually, but the only reason I excuse the first Game Boy game is because they were like learning how to do farming on the go, and in GBC 2 they give you, it's pretty much the SNES game almost, except no marriage. But yeah, this game, the only thing I don't like is that, yeah, I can't walk to places, it's just a map. At least this map sometimes isn't static, but this is one of the things I hate in games, is a map with places. I don't like it. I did like Harvestella. Harvestella's map I liked. It felt like an old JRPG. Like Harvestella felt like an old RPG with a traditional world map, but in a farming game with JRPG mechanics. In this one, I feel like they didn't make a map. This is wrong. I feel like in this one they didn't make a map that you could walk to, because the map has many locations, and they were like, if we have these many locations, we need like one extra location to connect them, and instead of connecting them all, they just went with a dots. the one I was talking before that has a traditional world map and farming, it's Harvestella. It's Harvest plus Stella, basically. It makes sense. Stella, yeah. It's a farming game made by Square. It's like, imagine Rune Factory. Except they didn't quite know what they were doing. So yeah. I can type it. I think... where's the window? I think that's it. So that game is like Rune Factory. It's like Rune Factory, but it's a very traditional RPG. So what that means is the pacing of the game is a bit off, honestly. But the game has some things that does really good. Like the farming isn't slow. The farming is really good. But then the farming isn't as impactful. You mostly do farming so you can get items to like upgrade stuff and cook items to bring to the dungeons. It's instead of being a farming game with RPG elements, it's instead a JRPG, an action JRPG with farming elements. So more action, less farming. But and yeah, the game has a bit of a pacing issue. But the world map is a world. You walk on the world map. So you have a world map connecting the game, and you walk on it. The issue is because you walk on the world map, time goes by. So you have to plan. You can't just go to the map and go like, oh, I'm going to this city, very far away, and I'll be back in a minute. No, if you go to a city far away, you will spend a lot of in-game time getting there. But I mean, it's a farming game, right? It has time, so that's how it works, right? If in Rune Factory, if you walk to a dungeon, time goes by. I don't know why people cried so much about the time moving in the world map when it makes sense. That's how it works. But yeah, I really like that it had a world map like that. You actually control your character. But if you ask me, man, JRPGs nowadays, when I see the map with the dots, I'm like, nope, no, I'm out of here. No, sorry, I don't want this. It turns me off so much. When I see the PNG, like some games have this really low quality PNG, and with dots, and you select the dot to go, I'm like, no, sorry, no. At least some, the world is still connected, right? You can still walk manually if you want, but nah. And I don't remember if Final Fantasy X is like that. Because I remember, I never played it, because every time I looked at things about Final Fantasy X, everything made me not want to play that game. So I don't remember if the map is dots as well. But for example, Final Fantasy XII, I really liked it because I could walk from place to place, except those on different... I forget if it was islands or something. There was places that you could only reach by airship. But Final Fantasy XII, for example, I really liked just walking to places. I'd leave the city, walk through multiple places to reach where I wanted to, and I liked it. But when I see the dots, nope. And yeah, this game does it. What I do give to this game is that the maps, for a Game Boy game, this map is perfectly good. Like, except the grassland here, which is not a grassland, it's a forest. So this is a forest, and this is a forest. This should have been like the, I don't. This is the Lost Woods, so this should be like the Mysterious Woods or something. But yeah, the first Game Boy Harvest Moon was... They didn't know what they were doing, but at least they tried. And I still like the game, even though there isn't much to do. They tried their best. And at least in GBC2 they made it more like the SNES game. You actually walk to the village. The village has shops like in the original game. Well, it doesn't have the interior of the shops, which they could do. But honestly, I like the portraits in the shops. I actually like that you get a portrait of the characters, a very big one. And I wish they brought back some of the characters, like the girl from the restaurant. I wish they made a game with her. Actually, doesn't Harvest Moon: A New Beginning have a similar character? Yeah, I wish they made a game, an Harvest Moon game, a Story of Seasons game, with artwork like the old games, like the PlayStation 1 game, except with new characters. Because I don't like their new designs. Like Harvest Moon characters were like, they are unique but generic at the same time. They are stereotypes, but really interesting characters. And while they look simple, they still look unique. But they look believable. Like Anne just has overalls, perfectly normal. Mary just has a sailor dress or uniform, which makes sense, right? They live in the middle of nowhere, and for a young girl working in a library, one of the closest things to an uniform would be a sailor uniform. It makes sense in the cultural aspect of the game. Every character is very simple but unique, but then on the remake they try to make them more unique, and instead everyone is just wearing cosplay. Like, it annoys me so much that they butchered Mary so much in the remake, and Mary just looks like a cosplayer. I really don't like that. I look and it's like, wait, is Mary cosplaying as a schoolgirl? Because that uniform isn't real. That's not something you actually wear. She doesn't look like herself. The whole point of Mary was she's just a simple girl. But yeah, I got here because of the map. Jesus, I yapped way too much. But yes, I agree. The game not having a map sucked. Like, just you couldn't even walk to places. There wasn't even a town or a forest. You just have your farm to walk to. But GBC2 fixed that, and this game just has a stupid map. But I have rosy glasses for this game as well, so... Okay, let's be friends with the mermaid. The poor thing is Yeah, see, there's a sign saying island map. Why would the town have a sign saying island map? It should be like crossroads. Right? It should be crossroads. If you go to the left, it's the cliff. If you go up, it's your farm. If you go to the right, it's the forest. And then in the forest, if you go to the right, you get to the deep woods. See, solved. Deep woods. This should be the deep woods. And then if you go north in the grassland, you get the mountains. So all they needed to fix this map would be to have a crossroads here in the middle of the town and the farm. So, but at the same time I'd miss having this map, because this map is good. You see the island and you see the mainland, so it would be nice to have both. Like just let the player select both, honestly. Sometimes more choices are good. And see, this is why I like streaming and criticizing games, because I like to see the problem and see if there is a good solution to them, which usually there is a good solution. Here the solution was one extra tile. That's it. But from the developer side, what if this game already hit the memory limit and they don't want to spend like twice the money to get a card? Because if this game was like 4 megabytes, the next card would be 8 megabytes, so it would be twice as big. And if they don't fill those 8 megabytes, they are wasting money. And this game came out in 2 cartridges, which then somehow they fit all in one for the global release. So yeah, in Japan they wasted too much money. But if they couldn't fit on a smaller cartridge, they would almost spend twice the money on a bigger chip to then not use it. So in a way I see why they wouldn't do it. So right now I'm going to switch game really fast. So it's been 30 minutes. It's that time where I end Harvest Moon and I'm going to switch to Dragon Ball Z, Beerus Fury. So I'll be back in a few minutes and Harvest Moon will be back next week. Until then, bye bye.